Meteorologist Chris Sowers now with a look at the AccuWeather forecast and some developing news in the weather department.
Yeah, a potentially serious situation starting to develop. With this line of storms pushing through, we now have a tornado warning that has been issued for north central portions of Gloucester County. This also includes, I'm going to read this to you now as I'm just now getting this in, central Camden County in southern New Jersey, as well as southwestern portions of Burlington County in South Jersey. And the statement says at 6:26, severe thunderstorms capable of producing both tornadoes and extensive straight-line wind damage were located over Woodbury Heights, or 7 miles southwest of Gloucester City, moving east at 45 miles per hour. So some of the impacts expected here: flying debris. Could see dangerous flying debris caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be most likely to be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roof, windows, and vehicles may also occur. So this is a very serious situation that's starting to develop. There's the line. Here's Storm Tracker 6. There's the line it's pushing through. We're going to zoom right into the area that's under the warning. So what we're looking at here is mainly areas, you can see this cell, it's racing off to the east, so it is mainly this area here. So let's say just north of Gibbsboro all the way up into the Marlton, Mount Laurel area. I'm going to assume it is this cell right here, Haddonfield, Cherry Hill. So again, it's going to be this area here where it's racing off to the east at 40 miles per hour. Right now they are detecting a little bit of rotation in this cell. The storm is capable of producing a tornado or damaging straight line winds. So if you're in this part of our viewing area here, anywhere east of Cherry Hill and Haddonfield, I advise you just to take cover now, maybe seek shelter into the basement. It's moving so quickly that you shouldn't have to be there long, maybe 15, 20 minutes or so, and then this storm will pass through. So places like Marlton, Mount Laurel, Gibbsboro, Medford Lakes, Mount Holly, Rancocas, William, this whole area here. If you live in this area here, seek shelter now, find yourself a spot in the basement, and just let this thing ride through as we continue to track this what's beginning to become a very dangerous storm here. Heavy rains also extending southward all the way down into southern portions of New Jersey, actually getting into the state of Delaware. It's transitioning over into what appears to be a pretty powerful squall line now. Palmyra, Riverside, some very heavy rain. So this is the area right here. We're just going to continue to watch this for a second as this updates here. Cherry Hill seeing the bulk of the storm right now indicated by the reds and these darker shades of maroon. So let me step out here. Let me see if I can work the controls and do a couple of more zooms here so we can get you up to date on what is happening here. So let me make a quick zoom, and we're going to zoom a little bit tighter into this part of our viewing area right here. So this is Morristown, Mount Laurel, Marlton, some of the streets here, neighborhoods. This, I believe, is Route 70 right here. And then this would be, I believe it is, okay, this is 73 right here. So it's going to be these areas here. It's this cell right in through here that looks like it's capable of producing the tornado. So the tornado warning continues for again, central Camden County in southern New Jersey, north central Gloucester County, southwestern Burlington County. This is up until 7 a.m. And right now they've listed it as it'll be around Glassboro at 6:30, so it's there now, or the cell is pretty close to you right now. Magnolia and Turnersville around 6:35. The Lindenwold Echelon area around 6:40. Voorhees, Berlin, Marlton Lakes around 6:45. Chislehurst and Atco around 6:50. Again, they haven't seen a tornado on the ground. It is a radar indicated tornado, which means the cell is showing signs of rotation now. It is capable of producing those rotating winds. So this is becoming a very serious situation. Again, it is this area here all the way down. Actually, I'm going to push this a little bit farther to the south. So it is this area all in through here. Looks like it might actually be this cell. This almost looks like a little hook here. So let's zoom right in through this part of our viewing area right here. And I'm going to make a couple of street locators right here. So here's Route 30. And this right here is the New Jersey Turnpike. So again, it's going to be this area here from Marlton down through Gibbsboro and Berlin. Keep an eye out here. Make sure that you are trying to find your way to the basement. If you don't have access to a basement, find the center part of your house. Try to put as many walls in between you and the outside as possible here. Let this storm pull through. Again, this is a tornado warning. This is up for central Camden County, north central Gloucester County, and southwestern Burlington County until 7 a.m. Again, Glassboro, it's pretty much there now, pushing east. Magnolia and Turnersville, 6:35. Lindenwold and Echelon around 6:40. Voorhees, Berlin, and Marlton Lakes Lakes around 645, and the Chislehurst and Atco areas around 650. As we continue to see this update moving very, very quickly at 40 to 45 miles per hour. And it is that cell right there, almost right over top of where I've listed the New Jersey Turnpike. That's one of the areas that we're seeing the tremendous amount of not only rain, but the tremendous amount of wind. If you're not seeing the rotating winds with this line, you're seeing the powerful straight line winds. Those can also cause extensive damage, especially to mobile homes or things like shingles on a roof. Some of the wind gusts now being reported up to straight line wind gusts up to 50 to 55 miles per hour with this. So a nice little squall line is starting to develop. This is becoming a very dangerous situation. If you live in the Marlton area, Gibbsboro, Berlin, it is bearing down on you very, very quickly. Tornado warning remains in effect until 7 a.m. as we continue to watch this line of powerful storms push through. This is the remnants of what was once Tropical Storm Cindy. Came on shore a couple days ago around western portions of Louisiana and now continues to charge east. The squall line stretches all the way west of New York City down to areas just west of Dover. And again, moving to the east at 40 to 45 miles per hour. So the tornado warning continues for central Camden County in southern New Jersey, north central Gloucester County in southern New Jersey, and southwestern Burlington County until 7 a.m. Again, this is radar indicated rotation. I'm not picking up any cylinders as of yet. Let me see if I can put on a, I'm going to go to the controls here. Maybe we can see if we can get that that popping up here so we can see a couple of rotating cylinders. But right now I'm not picking that up on the radar, but we'll see if we can find some for you here. And let me set it in motion really, really quickly. I know, so I'm not picking up cylinders, but again, National Weather Service is suggesting that we are seeing some pretty good upper level rotation that's starting to work its way closer to the ground. That's why the tornado warning has been issued. Again, it is up for central Camden County, north central Gloucester County, and southwestern Burlington County until 7 a.m. So this is the area we're zoomed into here. I'm going to pan just a little bit farther to the south. Right here, there it is, right there is another one just west of Turnersville. Again, all of this moving to the east at about 40 miles per hour. I'll go a little bit wider here so you get a general idea of the cell that we're watching. There's this one here pushing north of Gibbsboro, and then there's this one pulling out of Barnesboro, places like Richwood, moving east. Swedesboro still seeing the heavy rains, but again, it's going to be this area in through here that we're seeing from Gibbsboro all the way south into the Turnersville area, just north of Pittman now, that we're seeing the very heavy rains and the strong gusty winds. Again, I do not see any cylinders as of yet, but the National Weather Service has picked them up with their radar, and they continue to show a decent amount of rotation now working its way down towards the ground. So again, we're seeing we expect this storm to be over the Lindenwold Echelon area right about now. They're posting 640 at 638, so it's just about on top of you now. The Voorhees, Berlin, Marlton Lakes area around 645, Chislehurst and Atco around 650. So we will continue to watch this. Guys, do you want to just stay on this right now? Do you want me to toss it back to Gray? We can continue. Okay, Gray, I'm going to send it back over to you. I'm going to continue to watch this and update a couple things. I'll be back along in just a few minutes.
All right, Chris, also, we'd like to remind folks they can get the latest on our website, 6abc.com. And remember, you can get the latest forecast, including detailed updates and Storm Tracker 6 Live radar anytime on your phone or your tablet. The 6ABC app, of course, is a free download for your mobile device. But let's get back to that breaking news, that tornado watch right now. Meteorologist Chris Sowers back with the latest. Chris.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. This is tornado warning now. Continues until 7 a.m. This is up for central Camden County, north central Gloucester County, and southwestern Burlington County in southern New Jersey. I'm watching the statement from the National Weather Service now. Here we go. This is what I've been waiting for to pop up right here. So this line, the storm is moving off to the east at 40 miles per hour. So let me put a quick track on here for you and show you some of the areas here that are under the gun now. If you live in any one of these locations starting to pop up, you want to seek shelter immediately. The best place to be during a tornado event would be in the basement. And if you don't have a basement, try to find the center part of your house. The object is to put as many walls in between you and the outside as possible. So Turnersville, it's pretty much right over top of you guys right now. Bells Lake, 642. Grenlock, it's over you guys now. Pushing quickly to the east, Gibbsboro, Berlin. It should be knocking on your door very, very shortly here. Again, this is radar indicated. I have not seen a report of an actual tornado on the ground, but we are starting to pick up some pretty good rotation with this particular cell right here. The rotation is strong enough to warrant the tornado warning. So this is capable of producing a tornado at just about any point in time. We had a couple of tornadoes the other day. They were EF0s. They had maximum sustained winds 80 to 85 miles per hour. We had one in western, I believe it was Berks County, and then another one in Sussex County in southern Delaware. That was a couple of days ago. This particular line is moving to the east at 40 miles per hour. So just the movement alone would push these winds pretty close to severe criteria. You start getting circulating winds, and if you do in fact see a tornado with this too could probably be in the 80 to 100 mile per hour range. This is beginning to become a very dangerous situation here as we continue to watch this squall line from Gibbsboro all the way down. It's right over top of Turnersville now. Sewell, looks like you're starting to see some very heavy rains and strong gusty winds. Places like Williamstown, Berlin, this is going to be on top of you guys very shortly. Atco, same thing. It's pushing out of Pittman and out of Glassboro now. Very heavy rains, even some small hail. Again, the tornado warning continues until 7 a.m. This is up for central Camden County, north central Gloucester County, and southwestern Burlington counties. And we are expecting to see a little bit of damage here. If you're not picking up rotating winds, you're certainly seeing the strong straight line winds beginning to develop here. Flying debris is possible, and it could become very dangerous to those caught without shelter. So make sure if you're listening to me right now, maybe your husband or somebody's outdoors and they're pulling the weeds or they're just kind of getting their morning started here, come indoors. Head down to the basement. You want to seek shelter immediately in this part of our viewing area as we continue to see this tornado warning until 7 a.m. Now it looks like we are being told that Mercer County is now under the tornado warning. So let me quickly update a couple of things here. And let's look for the statement. Yes, we have another tornado. Okay, this is a separate storm. So let's do this. So this is the tornado warning. This is for north central Gloucester County and portions of Camden County, central Camden County. We have another cell that has also issued a tornado warning. This is for Mercer County. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to pull off this cell real quickly. Let's get over to that storm and let's see what's going on up here. So this is the cell right here that has also issued the tornado. It's also prompted a tornado warning. So it's this guy right here. What we'll do is we'll put a track on him. Okay, I'm just looking at some information, trying to get caught up with what's going on here. So this is moving to the east-northeast. It's what they call a mesoscale cyclone here. In other words, they're picking up pretty good rotation here. Tops around 20,600 feet. So let me kind of zoom in a little bit more. Here's Trenton off to the west here. This is Manalapan, the Windsor area. So this is actually pulling away from our viewing area here, Windsor. It's going to be this part of the cell right here. It looks like you're seeing the tornado warning. That's why it's been issued. So let me put the storm fan on. Let's get a storm track on this guy real quick. And again, moving at about 40 miles per hour. So here's your storm track for this guy right here. So it looks like the North Canton area at 645. So it's on you guys now. Hickory Corner 646. The New Sharon area around 646, and Sharon itself 647. This is moving off to the east-northeast at about 40 miles per hour, pushing into Monmouth County. So places like Clarksburg, Manalapan, Jamesburg, even getting into Jackson where Great Adventure is. Those areas are under the gun here. Tornado warning has now been issued there as well. So what I'm going to do here, because this is pulling out of our viewing area, I'm going to go back to the one that is right in the heart of our viewing area, and we're going to focus in on that one right now. So it's this area here, and look at all these arrows. So what you're seeing here, all these arrows that are starting to pop up, these are all what are called mesocyclones, or areas that we're starting to pick up rotation. So we're going to zoom in here. This is the one that we're picking up. And you're starting to see what appears to be this little S shape here. So what's happening is a lot of times when you see an S-shape echo like this, it's in this area here where we see the little bit of this little bulge that we start to see the rotating winds. And the reason for that is because the winds are blowing so fast this way that they're blowing out and around. And then this one right here would blow out and around. So they're both kind of curving back, and they create what's kind of like a little eddy. I'm sure you've seen that before on a windy day. Maybe you're raking the leaves, and then all of a sudden you see this little rotation. Well, that's what's going on here. You're starting to see these winds bow out, and then you're starting to see this bow out, and that's creating a little eddy in through here. So this is racing off to the east. It's this area here. Actually, that's where I'm going to really zoom in here. That's seeing the tornado warning. I'm going to put a storm track on that one as we continue to watch this storm race off to the east at 40 miles per hour. So there we go. There's our storm track right here. And it looks like, again, some of the locations here on the left part of your screen that are under the gun here. Tornado warning continues until 7 a.m. Whitman Square looks like 6:48, so it is 6:46. It's pretty much on you guys now. 6:48 in Cross Keys. The Williamstown area about 6:51. Again, racing off to the east, Blue Anchor would be next in line, and then probably just north of Hamilton. Now, that is for the particular cell that is capable of producing the tornado. Just about the whole area from Berlin down is starting to see the powerful straight line winds. So you can still get some extensive damage with straight line winds. It doesn't take a tornado to topple trees or pull the roof off of smaller buildings, things like that. Right now, these storms are moving at 40 miles per hour. I've already seen reports of winds up to 55 to 60 miles per hour. 2 tornado warnings in effect. The first one is for north central Gloucester County and central portions of Camden County until 7 a.m. The second one is up for extreme eastern portions of Mercer County, pulling out of Trenton, and most of Monmouth County and Middlesex counties in central New Jersey. And again, that storm is pulling away from our viewing area. That particular warning is up until 7:15. So right now it is 6:45. It looks like, or 6:47, I should say. It looks like both of these warnings are up for at least another 15 minutes or so. So we're just going to sit here and we're going to continue to watch this area. Again, the best place to be in a tornado event is in the basement or the center part of your house. Obviously, you do not want to be outdoors. You certainly do not want to be near windows, because windows can shatter and glass will fly everywhere, and that can cause some damage. And injuries. So we have 2 tornado warnings. This is the one we're focused on right now. It is up for north central Gloucester County, central portions of Camden County, and extreme southwestern portions of Burlington County. Up until 7 o'clock this morning, we have picked up some rotating winds with this squall line that is pushing through. This is the remnants of what was once Tropical Storm Cindy. Right now they're talking about flying debris already being reported with this storm. And flying debris can be very, very dangerous. Think about that for a second if you're outdoors and you've got winds of 50, 60 miles per hour just picking things up and shooting them across the area like projectiles. So you don't want to be outdoors in something like this. You want to be in the basement or the center part of your house. Right now, it looks like this storm is right over top of Williamstown. It is also near the Berlin area, getting close to Marlton Lakes, 6:45. Chislehurst and Atco around 6:50. And other locations impacted by this tornadic thunderstorm include the Laurel Springs, Oak Valley, Runnymede, and Glendora areas, Blackwood. So obviously it's past there now. Stratford, Pine Valley, Gibbsboro, Clementon, and Hynella. So take cover now, move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of your building. Avoid windows. If you are outdoors in a mobile home or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter to protect yourself from flying debris. We're just going to sit here for a minute and just watch this evolve. Again, the tornado warning continues. It is up for central Camden County, north central Gloucester County, and southwestern Burlington County until 7 a.m. It's a radar indicated tornado, meaning they're picking up rotation now. That is pretty significant. We've already had a couple of storms earlier this week that have also produced tornadoes. And tornadoes, they happen in this part of the viewing area, but to see them a couple times in a single week is pretty rare. It kind of shows you how unstable this pattern has been over the last few days. We had extremely high dew points almost all week long, tropical dew points. The air's been very uncomfortable. We've had a lot of severe weather over the last few days. Yesterday evening, we had a round of severe thunderstorms. Now we're seeing this pull through. And at first, we were not seeing severe weather with this, but now, as things continue to evolve, what was originally a heavy rain event is now starting to turn into a severe weather event with powerful straight line winds and rotation within a couple of these cells. So here's Berlin right here. And again, you can see how some of these cells are starting to bow outward like this. So it's going to be in the inward, I guess the indent areas right here and in through here where we have to watch the radar closely, because that's where we typically start to see the rotation. So it's going to be in through here and then this area here. This is the cell that we're watching. I'm going to put a new I'm going to put a new storm track on it as this thing's starting to outrun my storm track here. Again, the storms are racing off to the east at 40 miles per hour. So let's let this update. So let's go right here, and I'm going to put another one on here. And here's a look at some of the areas, again, that are going to see this storm pull right over top of them shortly here. Sicklerville looks like it's over top of you guys right now. Andrews, 652. The New Brooklyn area, 654. Williamstown Junction, 656. And Florence, 657. Again, this is a thunderstorm capable of producing tornadic winds. Looks like it'll be pushing over Blue Anchor shortly as well. It's a squall line that extends to areas just west of New York City all the way down into central portions of Kent County in the state of Delaware, also pushing over the Delaware Bay region. The severe aspect of the storm is over Gloucester and Camden counties now. We also have another tornado warning that is up for extreme eastern portions of Mercer County as well as western Monmouth County and central portions of New Jersey. That is up until 7:15. That is also a very quick moving storm cell that is pulling away from our viewing area. Turnersville, it looks like you're still seeing some pretty heavy rains at this point, maybe a little bit of a wind, but the main event is right here with the front end of this line. It's what we call a squall line. It's the leading edge of cooler air, the downdraft from a thunderstorm. Think about if you've ever watched a thunderstorm on your porch and you hear the thunder in the distance, and then all of a sudden, after maybe 15, 20 minutes of listening to thunder, you finally feel that gush, that rush of cooler air. That's what we're seeing here. This is a gust front right here, or what we call a squall line, but it has become very powerful because of the instability that has developed with this. So we're seeing winds anywhere from 40 to 60 miles per hour in the beginning portion of this line, which then transitions over to just heavy rains west of there. So Turnersville, it's just a heavy rain event now for you guys. Glassboro, Pittman, also downpours being produced right now. Looks like the heaviest is now pulling out of Berlin, and this cell right in through here, just east of Williamstown, this is the area that we continue to watch as we have picked up a little bit of rotation. Circulating winds getting awful close to the surface. Again, the best place to be in a tornado is either in the basement, or if you don't have a basement, you want to move over to the center part of your house. And you want to put as many walls in between you and the outside as possible. Shield yourself from flying debris. So you don't want to be anywhere near windows or doors. Windows will break, the glass shatters, it flows everywhere. So that'll obviously cause injuries. So again, you want to be in the basement or the center part of your house. This tornado warning is up until 7 a.m., so about another 7 minutes or so. And we continue to watch the radars very, very closely. Here's a look again. You see on the left-hand part of your screen a look at some of the locations that will see this storm and the respective times on the left. So 6:57 in Florence, 6:59 in Cedarbrook, and then the Braddock area around 7 a.m. as this storm continues to race off to the east at 40 miles per hour here. And we're just going to continue to sit on this, pulling out of Berlin. Again, it's going to be this area here. Let me see if I can go over and switch over so I can draw on this a little bit here. All right, there we go. So let me switch this over to white. So what I was talking about earlier here, what you're looking at, you see how this is starting to bow out a little bit right here. Your straight line winds are moving so quickly in this part of the storm that they're actually pushing this part of the cell out ahead of the rest of the line. It's because the straight line winds are so powerful. Well, they then start to move ahead and they kind of pull back like this, almost like in a little eddy. So here's another one right here. Now this one isn't as pronounced. Earlier it was, but the same thing was happening here as it starts to bow out this way, and then it'll start to pull back, almost like a little eddy. So you get the circulation in through here, okay, because it's going to be this area right in through here, the bottom portion of this top cell, the northern portion of this southern cell right here, where we could see the dangerous rotating winds. Let's take all of that off for you here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push this a little bit farther off to the south here. So there's your storm track right here. Here's the leading edge of that squall line. Again, tornado warning. If you're just now tuning in, we have 2 tornado warnings. The first one is up for central portions of Camden County, north central Gloucester County, and southwestern Burlington County. This is up until 7 a.m. At 6:26, that's when the National Weather Service started picking up some pretty good rotation with this thunderstorm. It is a radar indicated tornado warning, meaning the radar itself has picked up rotation strong enough to warrant the tornado warning. I have not seen a report of a tornado actually on the ground as of yet, but the radar is picking up some pretty good rotation fairly close to the ground. That's why the warning was issued. So that's why I'm advising everybody within this area to please seek shelter, move indoors to the basement or the center part of your house. They've already picked up flying debris, which would indicate either straight line wind damage or tornado damage. So they're already talking about flying debris. Again, mobile homes most susceptible to tornadoes because they're not anchored down. There's nothing holding them down, so they can easily be moved from their bases here. We're also seeing straight line winds with this line anywhere from 50 to 60 miles per hour. So if you were watching earlier this morning, originally this was just a line of heavy rains. We really weren't even picking up any winds with this. That was probably around 5 a.m. when we first went on the air. Now this is starting to evolve into a severe weather event. So we're seeing the heavy drenching downpours on the leading edge of this line. And we're also starting to pick up some powerful winds extending from New York City southward right through central portions of Cumberland County in South Jersey, as well as central portions of Kent County in the state of Delaware. So one last time here as we get close to 7 a.m. Those are the areas. If you look at this little storm window right here, the Williamstown Junction area right about now, Florence 6:57, Braddock 7 a.m., West Atco 7 a.m., and Blue Anchor right around 7 a.m. That's when this storm will be right on top of you guys. So what I'll do here is, again, this is starting to outrun my storm track, so I'm going to put another one on here. And what I'll do first is I'm going to pull a little bit out to the east, just like this. And let's put another storm track on here. Again, this is moving off to the east-northeast at about 40 miles per hour. So let's put it right there, 35. That's pretty close, right about there. All right, so here's a look at some of the areas. Pulling away from the Williamstown area now. Looks like the worst is behind you guys. Cedar Brook 658, Blue Anchor again around 7 a.m., 7:01 for Bates Mills, and then 7:03 for Winslow Junction. I'm just going to update a couple of things to make sure as I continue to kind of read over some information that was issued by the National Weather Service here. And I'm going to look for any updates. Nope, the warnings continue. Okay, so until 7 a.m., it continues to be north central portions of Gloucester County, central portions of Camden County, and then extreme southern portions of Burlington County. That's up until 7 a.m. And then there's another tornado warning which has been issued for extreme eastern portions of Mercer County and most of northern Monmouth County. That is up until 7:15. That cell is moving very quickly and pushing away from the Delaware and the Lehigh Valleys. So we're just going to stay on top of this for a couple of minutes. Tornado warning continues. I am starting to see things quiet down a little bit to the west. And if we can get a confirmation, it looks like this warning has now been discontinued, which would be a good sign. Let me see if I can confirm that. So here we are, 6:58. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's just sit on this. Okay, let's just sit on this until 7 a.m. As I'm updating things, it looks like they have just now taken down the tornado warning, but we have 2 minutes until 7, so let's just see that. Let's just see this through here as this storm continues to push through the Blue Anchor area. Again, it is kind of formed into a very dangerous squall line here. This is the remnants of what was once Tropical Storm Cindy, pushed through a couple of days ago, went on shore in western portions of Louisiana. And surprisingly enough, the center of this storm has actually maintained its structure fairly well as it pushed the Ohio and Tennessee valleys over the last couple of days. And now what we're seeing here is it's kind of transformed from a tropical circulation to a mini squall line that is pushing through the Keystone State and the Garden States this morning here. And you can see the bright reds here stretching from central portions of Burlington County, slicing Camden County right in half, and pushing through eastern portions of Camden County now. So the tornado warning remains in effect for about another minute or so, and then it will be discontinued. So right now, you see again the leading edge of a very powerful squall line in the process of pushing through Blue Anchor. So all right, there we go. We're at 7 a.m. I'll tell you what we'll do, Gray. I'm going to send it back over to you real quick, and I am going to confirm a couple things, get on the horn with AccuWeather. We want to stay on the one at Mercer County. Okay, let me make a quick zoom then. Let's get out of this one.
Chris, I know you're constantly monitoring the maps there, and it's difficult for you to do this because you don't have help right now, but you're doing a really good job. As we watch this system, do we know, have there been any reports, as you see from your computer system, of any downed trees or any damage to property as we know of right now?
Right, that's what I'm looking for. I have seen reports of flying debris. I have not seen any significant damage reports as of yet. Doesn't mean it hasn't happened. It just means it hasn't come in yet to the National Weather Service. So I have not seen any reports like that as of yet.
And right now we're talking, this is just a warning, right?
Okay, yes, the warning has been discontinued for the one in Gloucester, Camden, and Burlington counties. That is discontinued. The only warning that remains in effect right now is the tornado warning for eastern Mercer and northern portions of Monmouth County. That is up until 7:15. That cell was racing off to the east, so it would be this cell in through here. We're starting to pick up a couple of lightning strikes. I want to pan out just a little bit so I can kind of get an idea of where this, all right, so it's going to be this area right in through here. That's where we're starting to see where it almost appears, you see this right here, almost appears to be a hook shape right here. Now, the good news is this is technically out of our viewing area. We're moving into Monmouth County. This is Manalapan right here, just north of Jackson. So here's Allentown, Great Adventures in the Jackson area. So it is just north of there. And this cell right here racing off to the east-northeast at 40 miles per hour. So it is moving away. This is over top of Monmouth County. This particular tornado warning is up until 7:15. The warning that was issued earlier for Gloucester and Camden counties in southern New Jersey, that has expired. It is discontinued. Now we're seeing a squall line as it continues to extend from New York City all the way down through the heart of South Jersey and into the state of Delaware. We're seeing winds anywhere from 40 to as much as 60 miles per hour with this squall line here. But the good news is these winds appear to be straight line winds now and not rotating winds. Now, straight line wind damage can still be just as significant as tornado winds. It's just the structure is a little bit different. Think about just a powerful wind all blowing in the same direction here. That is certainly capable of 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts of blowing off shingles or uprooting trees, especially given how wet the ground has been over the last few days. All the tropical downpours the area has seen over the past week. So it won't take much with the leaves on the tree sort of to act like a canopy. When that wind blows, it kind of gets caught up in the leaves in the tree, and boom, you get some trees uprooted there. So just be very careful here. Even if you're still in the Camden and Gloucester County areas now, just because you're not under the gun with a tornado warning, it doesn't mean you want to let your guard down, because this whole line is starting to become pretty strong here as it quickly races to the coast. Again, winds of 40 to 60 miles per hour. But the good news here is the tornado warning has been expired. I don't even have a severe thunderstorm warning issued for that part of our viewing area anymore. We're just looking at flood advisories to the west, and then that one tornado warning for eastern portions of Mercer County and northern portions of Monmouth County. That is up until 7:15. It is this cell here pushing out of Windsor, moving into the Manalapan area and moving off to the northeast. So it should be over Marlborough probably within the next 10 minutes or so. Again, racing off to the east-northeast at 40 miles per hour. And again, just another quick reminder, I know I'm starting to sound repetitive here, but the best place to be in a tornado, if you are just tuning in, is the basement or the center part of your house. You don't want to be upstairs, and you certainly don't want to be near windows or doors. Windows break, the glass shatters, you can become injured. And doors also can become dislodged from their hinges. So again, you want to be either down in your basement or in the center part of your house. The object is to put as many doors in between you and the outside as possible. What you're seeing on this radar return, you're seeing the bright shades of red, the maroons, even a little purple starting to show up just south of Manalapan. Now, that might actually be where we're starting to pick up some hails. Let me go onto the arrow right here. So this area right here, this is what I'm talking about here. When you start to see these purples pop up on your radar return, there's a pretty good bet that you're picking up hail there. And usually when you're picking up hail like this on a storm cell that has produced rotation, that means that, yes, we are seeing rotation and there could be a tornado on the ground. You start to see things like this as the winds, the rotating winds become a little bit stronger. and as this storm becomes a little more mature, a little better developed here. So this is honestly something that I don't want to see at this point here, because it's a sign that this storm is strengthening. So this is pulling off in this direction here. Let's put a storm track on him. And again, the good news is it's pulling away from the Delaware and the Lehigh Valleys, pulling away from the city of Philadelphia. It's moving off to the east-northeast at about 40 miles per hour, just like that. So here's some of the locations. If you know anybody that lives in this area out and through here, get on the phone, give them a quick shout out here, let them know what's going on if they don't already know. Again, they want to be in the basement or the center part of their house. 706 Manalapan, 706 Charleston Springs. I believe that is Badesville. It's 707 and 707 in Carl's Corner. All right, looks like we're starting to get some storm damage reports now in Oakland, New Jersey, Haddon Township area. Trees are down. There's some homes damaged. So now some of the reports are starting to move in. The good news is that particular cell has weakened. We do not have a tornado warning with that cell any longer, but we are still seeing a lot of very heavy rains in that area, and the leading edge of that gust front is pushing through eastern portions of Camden and Gloucester counties as I speak. We could see winds anywhere from 40 to 60 miles per hour, straight line winds with that as that storm marches off to the east. So as I continue to progress along here, I'm going to wrap up in a second, but what I want to do is just get back to this one right here. This cell, I'm going to make a quick zoom into this part of our viewing area right here. Again, this is the leading edge of the squall line. We're no longer seeing rotation down here, but we are seeing strong straight line winds. So this whole thing is moving off to the east at 40 miles per hour. Looks like it should be down at the Jersey Shore within the next 40 minutes or so. It is racing. It's going to be there very quickly. Places like Brigantine, Surf City, moving northward up into Seaside Heights, Point Pleasant Beach area. It's going to be right over top of you guys within the next half hour, 40 minutes or so. Heavy rains, a little bit of hail, strong gusty winds, but the tornado warnings have been discontinued. The only tornado warning that remains at this point is for eastern Mercer County and northern Monmouth counties in central New Jersey. That is up until 7:15. Gray, I'll continue to update a couple things, and I'll be back along in just a few minutes.
All right, good job, Chris. Thank you so much. Also, we're sending a crew out there to see if there's any damage, and as we do that, we hope there is no severe damage and also no injuries. And I'd like to remind you that you can find the 7-day forecast and a live look at Storm Tracker 6 double scan radar any time of the day on our website. You can track this system with us. Go to our website, 6abc.com/weather.